Okay. Yo, peace. Okay. So, what we're going to do is today is focus on the destruction of Pan African ideology in America, and we're going to reboot and update the literacy level of the Aborigines. So, what I'm going to do is fixate my vocabulary and my intent toward the Aborigines with intelligence. So, for now on, I'm going to use wise words and intelligence towards y'all, and hopefully the light, situate on your third eye, and you begin to grow. Because I don't want to keep hurting your feelings. Because I tried to get your attention and hit you with the facts, hoping that you would see through my schisms and be like, oh damn, he dropping the facts though. Let me wake up. So instead of hurting your feelings, I see you sensitive. See what it is when you ignorant, you is more susceptible to the lower frequencies. You can hone in on them quicker than anything. See, when you living on the lower self. But when you on the higher self with the third eye aware, you see all the things that can't nobody else see. See, that's why I don't hate people when they lower self. Because you see the things that I really can't see. All that lower self stuff. You on red alert. See, and I'm on high. So I can see the spiritual concepts, the cosmology. I can read and comprehend different languages. And if I can't, I'm smart enough to go get it interpreted. So today we're going to focus on destroying the ideologies of the Africans, Pan Africanism, Hotep, back to Egypt, Kemet science, led by Sarah Suit Seti Black Power Cartel, Sarnetta Conscious Community, and Jabari Osazi, the Kemetic scholar. Okay? So these is the leaders for the Out of Africa with several of their associates. They have other associates that I can name, but it's so many of them, it's no need in naming all of them. But the leader is called Sarasu Nseti and Jabari Osazi. Meanwhile, on the other end, we have the Aboriginals with the low IQs. And we have scientific data backing it up. So we have people who have been researching for decades, lining up the intelligent quotient capacity of people all over the globe, or the flat plane, should I say. It's still up for grabs. So what I want to do is start a series focusing on destroying the African ideology and restoring the Negro, more Latin concepts that got us to greatness. And what I mean by that is Latin is an ancient language. So claiming that give us authority and seniority. Senior is a Latin word. It gives us seniority over the minors. You understand what I'm saying? So we have the Latin culture that is really ours, that has been hijacked, and Central America believes is the prime location for that. We have the Kannada civilization that made it from Australia into Canada with the Tamil, Nadu. And we have Tamil speaking in ancient times. We have so-called cuneiform found in America. We have so much to research, but we cannot focus with the Africans chattering in our brains. The African is running his mouth every day, getting on the YouTube, trying to teach us about his African concepts. And to me, it's one ear and out the other until you say Aboriginal or more. Because I know who has the Aboriginal trust to this land, the title and deed, and I know who are the mothers and fathers of civilizations. They go hand in hand. Aboriginal and Moor go hand in hand, because the Moors are the sea peoples who had the first collection of boats and sailboats, and they reached out to the world, and they had the concept of Mother Mary, the matriarch, the Moors. So we have the Aboriginals, who are the oldest living beings to a land area, and they have the title and trust set up for them. So just because you have an Aboriginal title don't mean jack nothing all the time. Yeah, you have a title, you can walk around your area, but you still gonna get policed. Because, yeah, everybody know you the Aboriginal, but sometimes you unintelligent and are a minor, and someone has to advocate for you. So everybody know you, this your land, black people, Negro people. But at the end of the day, you're not ready to lead a government and take the world stage as a leadership role. You see how they laugh at Donald Trump every day. You see how they disrespected Obama. So these is real spokespeople who know how to speak real well in public settings. And you see how the world humiliate them. So do you think that you really ready to get out your feelings and lead for America, black man and black woman, or Negro man, or more man? So my beliefs is, if we eliminate step by step the bad habits, like if you smoke too much, you do too much drugs, you need to slow down and build yourself up. So my concept is, let's eliminate things like attention whores who love our attention, who love staying in our business, starting with the Africans, because we have the descendants of slaves and the descendants of the Trail of Tears. Okay, so we have our people who were sent to Oklahoma to get up out the way of civilization that was finna get erected, and we have the descendants of slaves who was getting mollywopped and beat up. So, or they weren't even really getting beat up because they volunteered to be slaves. They weren't fighting back. We had our people who fought back, and you had the Africans who wasn't fighting back. So I can't even say they was fighters. I don't know what's up with the African, but their stories don't coincide with ours, and I'm gonna prove it in this video. So you know that their stories is different from ours, and I'm not gonna let a descendant of a slave claim nothing. What I want you to understand and contrast, people, is it is a difference between those West Africans who came here as Muslims, captured as Muslims. Those were Moors, and I'm going to do a great job of circling that and circumscribing that. I'm not going to let nobody claim nothing Islam. I'm not going to let an Aborigine. I'm not going to let an African. I'm not going to let any of those Bible zealots claim anything Islamic, any innovation. I'm going to make sure to put the stamp on it, take it away from them so they can't say, oh, this was Aborigines or the Africans. No, that was Islam, brother. So let me begin this video. I don't want to talk y'all to death because y'all pretty much get the picture of what I'm about to do in this series of destruction of Pan-Africanism ideals in America and the development of the intelligence in Aborigines. That's not going to be the actual title. I'm going to fix it up, but you get what I'm saying. So let's start with this little situation. So we have the Americans, land of the serpent, situated in between Atlantis and Lemuria, according to the Andean people. And the Andes is located in South America, near the Quechua and Lemurian, off the coast of the Pacific Ocean. Now, recollection of the Andean Anders, H.P. Blavatsky maintains in the Secret Doctrine book that America is referred to in the Hindu Puranas legends as Potala, the kingdom of the Nagas. So this is the kingdom of the Nagas, and this is why they call us niggas and niggas. So Sarasutan Sadi, being the agent as he is, was ahead of the game. He know y'all about to start reading, so what he goes to do is slanders H.P. Blavatsky's name. What he do is go and slander Drew Ali's name. He don't know nothing about these people. Because guess what? If a criminal was searching for a treasure, right, that led to a secret location that nobody know about, the criminal could have been going to do something good. It don't even have to be a criminal. It could have been somebody doing whatever they was doing, and they left some information on how to get somewhere. We're going to use that information on how to get that place, no matter if they was a good person or bad person. That's what I'm saying about Blavatsky or Drew Ali. So their research led to these people called the Nagas, and they got their sources saying that in the Hindu Puranas, the legends as Potala. So our job is to go find out what the fuck Potala is. Okay, we got to find out what Potala is in the Hindu Puranas instead of worrying about the name H.P. Blavatsky. So we don't have to let Seti scare us. So according to the wise serpents, the title America is derived from the Quechuan Lemuria word Amaru, meaning snake or serpent. Quechuan, the language of the Incas, which mean kings, is derived from Ruma Sima, the primal tongue spoken on Lemuria. So we have sources for this, while Sarasuti is trying to scare us away from this before we get to it, people. You understand what I'm saying? So if we attack the Africanism head on, you understand? Hold on. If we attack the Pan-Africanism onslaught head on, we can slow it down while, our children develop a mindset to defend against colonialism. Africanism can be colonialism too, because African is a broad word used to describe 54 separate countries with over 3,000 languages and 2,000 ethnic groups. So we have more languages than ethnic groups. You understand what I'm saying? So they have 3,000 languages. But over here we have the Quechua Lemurian language still being preserved in South America. But we do not study this because we have been bombarded with African history. Now, remind you people, it's only been since 1988, when Jesse Jackson and what's that group called from New York with Flavor Flav and Chuck D, whatever they was called, I forgot the name. But anyway, they was coming with the African leather patches and the Malcolm X hats and all of this bullshit, throwing us off. Making us think that we needed to be fighting some fucking power when the only thing you should have been fighting was ignorance. Now, let's move on, because according to the recollections of the Andean mountain elders, and according to one of the researchers for the Aboriginals, he just exposed Andea was a prime location for the settlers up out of the so-called Bible saga of Moses parting the Red Sea in California. Okay, let's move on before I get to the nitty gritty. So we have Indians. We have Indians with corn. This is in India. This is not in America, though. This is the Nagas. So according to Blavatsky, H.P. Blavatsky, and the Andean Naga elders in South America, they believe that the Naga serpent kingdom was located in America, not India. And we have them with ears of corn in their hand thousands of years ago. So we're connecting the Moorish Naga connection, being able to get on those large sailboats and traverse and have, maritime trade going on and commerce. Now, Sarah Sudin said he asked the question in his last video, how did they get those big old Olmec heads over here weighing 28 tons? So I probably can get to this video, but that's gonna be a masterpiece. When I do that video, that's gonna shut up Sarah Sudin Sadie on, for good, about who built the dang on pyramids and those Olmec heads, because we gotta understand that is a, like how he was breaking down the blueprint to make skyscrapers, the blueprint to make large statues. Is basically the same company. But what I want you to realize is he's using a broad description when he's just saying African. He's not telling us. When he's saying black, when he's saying African, we don't know who the hell he's talking about. So that's misinformation. So let's get to the nitty gritty. So, okay, this might be this is Who Built America information. I might not be able to cover this right now. Okay, I can cover this. I can cover this right now, and I'll just do a special on this. So we have Free Blacks of Israel Hill, and this was in 1810 and 1811. They settled, and it was approximately 90 formerly enslaved persons who received freedom and 350 of acres from Judith Randolph under the will of her husband, Richard Randolph, cousin of Thomas Jefferson. So Thomas Jefferson is a prominent, person in U.S. history. And these Israelites and other free African Americans worked as farmers, craftspeople, and Appomattox River boatmen. Some labored alongside whites for equal wages and defended their rights in court. The family of early settler Hercules White bought and sold real estate in Farmville and joined with the white citizens to found the town's first Baptist church. Israel Hill remained a vigorous black community. So we have people recognized as Israelites, and we have some boatmen, some river boatmen, Appomattox, and we have African Americans. So we have Israelites here according to American Heritage Society. And this is the Department of Historic Resources. So they're claiming Israelites here. So that is one blow to the Pan-African ideology when they're disrespecting people when they want to claim to be Israelite. So that's one blow against Sarah Sudin Seti and his leadership of claiming everybody is a African slave. So we're going to get to the bottom of that Israelite and exactly who those people are. I want you to know these are particular people, just like Moors are particular people. Just like we might see a, let me give you an example. Okay. We might see some little children with a pack of Mexicans. You feel what I'm saying? With some long hair, with the brown dark skin, with the little fat nose. Like, damn, that's one of us. But all the time, that's a Mexican. They own people, but they look like us. See, these folks look like us. They own people. But the Africans make the mistake of trying to say everybody is an African just because of you melanin. Now realizing that even in Africa, they have different nations and different tribes. And as you can see, that the Pan-African leadership under the guise of Masonry, their whole mission is to make sure that you in particular out of everyone on earth don't apply to have your own nation. Because if you apply to have your own nation, that means all your legal guardians, all of your authorities and agencies on top of you, they getting fired because you're no longer a dependency. You're no longer a ward of the state. So that's why it's important for Sarah Suit and Sadie to keep this information from you. And as the year progressed, I say before mid-year, we should have gotten rid of him off the internet. We shall have got rid of all of the African concepts and all of the African destructions, all in all. Because guess what, African? Yeah, you can say what you want to say about the mounds and the dirt. You know, all the dirt mounds, but we got some pyramids too. And according to researchers, the largest pyramid in Mexico has been found. Okay. So, and they also confirmed that there's more similar. I got a article of Alaska being ancient lands, and it is called Alaska, and it is a Muslim word, and it means Al-Maghrib Al-Aqsa. Al-Aqsa is a Muslim word, people, and Alaska might have more pyramids than Mexico and more larger ones. There is a story going on that it is a crystal pyramid in Alaska. So if you believe it's pyramids in Bermuda under the ocean, if you believe it's pyramids in Antarctica, believe that it's in Alaska. They saying Alaska is a old Muslim word. Now we can look it up. You know, when I'm gonna come up out of this and look it up. Could I? Yeah, I can look it up right here. Let's look it up. Hold on. Let's just look it up. Is Alaska a Muslim word? Okay. See, we teaching like this because everybody don't know these things. Okay. So what I want you to know is, okay, that Alaska being used by Arabs don't mean that it's a Muslim word. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you look at Spanish and French, they both use Latin, but you're not finna say Spanish and French is the same. So don't say Moorish and Arabic is the same. You understand what I'm saying? Because Arab is actually Maghrib. If you look down here where this dude is talking, 1, 2, 3, 4, the name for Morocco in Arabic is Al-Maghrib. You understand what I'm saying? That's why the Moors is telling you that Al-Maghrib, Al-Aqsa, extreme west is America. And that's why they have Alaska, people, because the Moors is telling you everything on that coordination point from all the way from Egypt all the way to Alaska is ours. You know what I'm saying? That's what we ruling at, man. You know, and our people knew about all of these pinpoints and locations so they can observe celestial observations. So the word is Al-Maghrib. Arab is a disrespected word short for Marib because there is no G in the Latin language or the Arabic language, so-called Arabic language. There's no G. So take the G off Al-Maghrib, people, and just say Al-Marib, 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 Arib. Understand what I'm saying? Arabic, Al-Marib. So it is Arabic, and it is disrespectful. It is denationalizing. It is a misnomer. The original name for Morocco in its pure form will be Al-Maghrabi Alexa. So that's Alexa is ours. The Morocco kingdom is a small kingdom led by some mixed up mongrels. Okay? So I then broke down what Alaska means. So we are shattering the African dreams. America, Alexa is the extreme west. And what I'm saying, it is pyramids up there. just like it is in Mexico. But they not telling you everything. And since they not telling you everything, that means we can't assume no more, people. Because we got corn found in India on statues. And all you Indians love to claim to be, some goddamn Indians growing corn. That's your maize, beans, squash. You claim all this. But when I go to show you the Sanskrit title for the great king or high king, Sardar Singh Maharaya, the Sardar Singh's Sanskrit title is Maharaya. Okay, Maharaya. And I done showed you the Maurya dynasty. I done showed you the Maurya Nagas. And I done showed you the Maurya Nagas with the corn in their hand. You understand what I'm saying? So enough is enough. If we can get rid of the African from, all in our air, because I tell you what, it's like a goddamn bug, my nigga. It's like a damn fly or a gnat. You don't want to kill the little fella, but damn, you want to open the door and let his ass get on out, before you have to take him out. Go ahead on back to Ghana with that bullshit, because it's going to start, we can't hold our composure around the enemy. Most Moors, they keep a straight face and keep their peace even when they strike like a martial artist. But shit, it's time to strike. It's time to go. So this information should start to liberate your mind and help you understand that you have been lied to. And since you have been lied to, don't be mad at yourself. You got the right to be mad at Sarasu and Seti and the rest of these niggas getting on this internet playing games with this information. Because guess what? Lying is a serious crime to me. I take that shit serious. So we have Sarasu and Seti sitting up there talking about some goddamn Lemuria was made up by Madame Blavatsky, but the Andean elders, in accordance to the Puranas, Hindu Puranas, they are validating the claims that Lemuria existed. Now we have Tahiti, slightly off the coast of California in the Pacific Ocean, where there's plenty of people that look like you and I, light-skinned to dark-skinned with woolly hair. We have Morea. And we have the so-called fabled story, Lemuria. So we got this lunatic African, light-skinned African, talking about we done lost our mind because we done, listen to the European about Morea. And we done found it right here. So when you put Lemuria, it don't mean nothing but the Morea. You know what I'm saying? And I done showed y'all, the Morena Kingdom. Now look at this word up here, Maharipa. Now I just showed you the brother. I just showed you the brother, and his name in Sanskrit, the same language we speaking, is the great king or high king. Now, he is a Maharaya, right? And he speaks Sanskrit. What did your brother do in the last few videos? Your brother proved to you English come from Sanskrit, and we the fiery serpents. We know how to use language and make up new languages quicker than anybody. We always form new dialects. In North America, from East Coast, West Coast, to the First Coast, and in the Great Lakes, we all have different dialects. And we recognize that, we are the same people, as far as race in America, but we have different cultures. We do recognize that. And we have mixed with different people. So I take the East Coast people out there with poking on them. They took the liking to the Europeans, and they whited up a little bit. We get down to the Belize area, we took a liking to the Jews, Jews and the Moors. You know what I'm saying? And you got the Mongoloids up there by Washington and stuff up in that area in the Great Plains. Everybody take a liking to who they take a liking to. So the fact of the matter is the African Black Back to Africa movement, is a political movement, and it has nothing to do with human rights and indigenous rights. You can't put black and indigenous in the same category. That's some whole other shit. So whatever black got coming, indigenous got something extra coming. Something separate. So that's why I want to emphasize on getting rid of them, because if we get rid of them, we can focus on this information. Now, this is going to be a quick little breakdown. We have eumelanin, and it is black and brown melanin, versus vile, corruptible pheomelanin, pink and yellow melanin. So on the New York Stock Exchange, pheomelanin is worth $0. That's this shit that gets sunburned. But on the New York Stock Exchange, eumelanin is worth $365 per gram. What do that tell you, people? That's more than gold, ain't it? So your eumelanin is worth top dollar, right? So if we wasn't going back and forth with no goddamn African, we can be worried about your worth. We can be seeing that you are plain old rich, and these hating ass niggas hired by the Freemason Illuminatis to distract you, want you to just go to Africa without any type of strategy or any information on civilization. Just go to Africa, brother. So why am I going to Africa? Why? Why would I have to be scared if I'm God, if the black woman is God, if I come from God? If I'm a God, I can do anything. And why in the fuck would I run? Why would I abandon my ship? You know what I'm saying? If I'm a warrior, if I'm the number one warrior on earth, according to the Black Saraswati, the black man is the number one. What he running for? You feel me? So it sounds like a conspiracy to me. And as you can see, according to the Bible, he was going to unleash the plagues on them. And that's exactly what melanoma. Okay. So they need to lead the surface to us instead of trying to block out the sun. But we cannot focus on this goddamn topic of us being able to absorb ultraviolet light and project it. There's a video that this European just did on that. It's a video that's really under the radar, but it's popular, and it's showing how the animals in the ocean and on the surface, even lightning bugs, have the ability to light up. To, even in the dark, to light up and glow and illuminate. So our job is actually to teach you people how to shine with the light, because they can't. They burn. They have the curse because they exalted themselves over God's chosen people. And they called them ugly, and they destroyed them and killed them. So that is going to be their karma. So I cannot relay this information to you, which is my job, if the Africans is getting on the internet, steady distracting y'all every day, and y'all steady playing games. See, if you was in serious mode, ones would be getting this information to you. Because the sun don't like them. They know the sun don't like them. And if the sun chose you, of course they're going to hate your ass. So, but the Negro, we have the Negro sellouts whose job is to only distract you. Because guess what? Out of all of that goddamn Egyptian, out of all of that Kemet, ain't none of them taught y'all how to use your third eye. How we breaking it down. How your third eye, once you clean and pure, and Ra has dealt with you the right way, he's going to allow you to absorb his light. And possibly you can be a Israel's elite, supreme warrior like me. But you have to be about the truth. If you're not telling the truth, and if you're not about love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, you can hang it up. You're not going to use Ra's light for nothing wrong and negative. It's not going to happen. It's only going to be to protect the earth. So we have the God self is called Pharaoh in the Mande culture of Malay and Asar and Kushite Kemetic culture. Both of these black African divinities present the manifestation of God within. So both of these is called Pharaoh. So, but the one in Egypt is called Pharaoh. So it's some questions about whether or not this is a Pharaoh or not. But we have the Mande, who is kind of similar to these people because, the Mande come from the Meroitic. The Meroitic is the ones who came up with all that Egyptian stuff, the Amhara. You feel me? So it's a question of whether the Pharaoh is a female title or not. That's what we don't know. But we see the similarities in the culture because the Mande of Mali, they exist right now today. You feel what I'm saying? So this initiation process, it could be Masonic, it could be mystic, or it could be the same civilization. These are questions we must ask. So we must know that we intercontinental and that these is our people to a certain degree. But what I want to emphasize is don't call me what you want to call me just because of some goddamn skin color. You know what I'm saying? Don't get to calling me black or light-skinned or brown or red or, afro or straight hair because that's what you feel like doing. You say hello, greetings, and let me describe who the fuck I am. That's the level we on. So breaking news. The ultralight age desperation skin visions devils launches mode check app. So they have to launch skin check apps to make sure the mold, they don't start getting those moles and cancers. But this information is swept under the rug. You understand what I'm saying? Because niggas want to get rich. We have fat cats who want to make millions of dollars selling books and doing shows instead of getting people the information they need to accelerate physically, mentally, and spiritually. So what I'm gonna do is, give the information to the Aborigines in a raw. I'm not making no more videos calling Aborigines slow and dumb. What I'm gonna do is start, I might do a whole new channel for the Aborigines to help y'all come up to par with learning. Cause y'all don't know jack about American heritage and history on how these lands were stolen. You have to be an in-depth researcher. You have to really love your land. You have to have race pride to want to go and dig deep and read. You just reading some shit that's saying black Indians. You not figuring out the parties involved in destroying certain communities and nations in America. We need to bring them to justice. We need to know exactly what men, was killing kids, and when they got, they had to get arrested for killing too many kids. We need to know who did what, who overexploited the situation. So, the Louisiana Purchase, okay, it affected Haiti, and it affected this land. Let me show you this land that it affected. It affected from Florida all the way to Arkansas. And actually, it affected more land than that. You can really say the Louisiana Purchase is anything but the East Coast colonial states. You can say that the Louisiana Purchase was any land east of the Mississippi besides the 13 colonies, because they tried to minimize it to the coastal region of Florida's, but they winded up duping all the Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? They wind up duping all of them. And to be honest with you, I don't feel like reading all this. So what I'm going to do is just do rundowns, and you can go back on your own and read yourself. And what I'm going to do in the description is post up the Google page. You can go and just read up all the Indian information you want for the free. I'm not going to charge you to go read off this page. But when you go get all this information, you're going to be mind blown. And when I get some time, I am going to do, like little videos on each one of these stories. You understand what I'm saying? Because no Haiti, no Louisiana Purchase. We have to actually find out the truth about Haiti's connection to Louisiana, because according to our Creole background in America, legend says the warrior fighters was exiled from here into the island of Hades of Haiti. Hades supposed to mean banished to hell, according to Greek, and the people who didn't want to leave this area of the Louisiana Purchase, particularly down in New Orleans area, they shipped those people to Haiti. Shipped them. They didn't even send them to the Trail of Tears, so I don't know how rough they was. Them was some rough ass niggas. Okay. So we have the rebellion of Saint Domingue, as the French colony was called back then, started on August 9th in 1791. The slaves set fire. So they always gonna call them slaves, not indigenous. They set fires and massacred the ruling whites. It took 12 years, but after the defeat of plantation owners and local French troops, then an army of Spanish and British invasion, and ultimately a Napoleon army in 1803, the Republic of Haiti was born. So they had been doing a lot of fighting, and as I proved before, matter of fact, I need to prove it right now, since we worried about Haiti. Let's prove that, and that can go into the exposing of the African lunacy of some goddamn black Haitian revolution. Let's debunk that shit right now. This should be a good video at the end. Okay. Polish. Okay. Let's deal with this shit. Okay. Let's deal with the missing information. If you've been keeping up with my videos, I have been exposing a lot of unusual information. And the way I deliver my video, I do it particularly to attract a certain demographic. I use profanity and a slang in order to entice the youth because I can't just come off as a lame or overzealous adult. So I'm trying to catch a certain type of crowd because I know you old people were stuck in your ways with wearing that African dashiki shit and that black power shit. And you don't know your minds is gone because we on the outside looking at y'all. So we able to, see y'all better than y'all can see ourselves. Where you fail to see yourself, others discover you most plainly. Now, according to history, the white people helped the Haitians get their independence, particularly the Polish. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, from the people of Poland to the people of Haiti, our warmest regards and a reaffirmation of our solidarity with you for another 200 years. I am honored by your invitation to address you on this auspicious occasion, the eve of the 200th anniversary of the independence of Haiti. The road to independence for Poland and Haiti was not without horrible suffering and sacrifice. 200 years ago, the world was dominated by empires and ruled by despotic leaders who not only oppressed their own country, but also those of other nations. So the Polish and the Haitians had something in common. They was getting dominated by dictators. So what the Polish went on ahead and did was, instead of busting the niggas' heads in Haiti, they winded up helping them. And the Haitian so-called Saint Dominguez people, they went up there and recognized the Poles. So they people. They basically saying they brothers. So let me read some more on this. By 1796, Napoleon promised the Poles that he would reestablish Poland as a nation if the Poles joined his army. The Poles joined his ranks by the millions and formed the Polish legions. So that's a lot of soldiers by the millions. So they deep. That's some deep shit. That go to show you how bad they was fighting back then on the real. So let me get to the point of how the Polish winded up helping the Haiti. One of the colonies of the French Empire, Santo Domingo, now Haiti and the Dominican Republic, rebelled against his master. Napoleon sent 50,000 men to quell the uprising. Among these soldiers was 5,000 Poles who served in the Polish Legion attached to the French army. The Poles had no idea what they were being sent until they reached Port-au-Prince on September the 2nd, 1802. They first thought they were being shipped to Louisiana. In the ensuing months, late 1802, 4,000 Poles were dead, mostly from tropical diseases and military action. Okay, I'm not finna read all that. They really just breaking down how, they was in Haiti, the Poles. So, okay, the Poles are to be accepted as children of the island. Okay, after the revolution of 1805, when the Constitution of Haiti was being drafted, the topic came up about what to do about the Poles who remain. General Dessalines, see, Dessalines is one of these niggas leaders, one of these black African Afro leaders who they love so much. And let's see what he say. General Dessalines, matter of fact, hold on, let's see what he looked like first. General Dessalines of Haiti. See, I know about Haiti. I know how they get down. Okay, this is General Dessalines. This is one of them niggas, okay, that the black power is always happy about. They always celebrating this nigga right here. And as you can see, he a light-skinned nigga. His children is light-skinned looking. Ain't just no black-ass Africans. Nigga look like one of us. So this is the Africans leader of Pan Africa. And according to his words, in 1805, after they got their independence, he said the Poles are to be accepted as children of the island. Naturalize all who wish to remain with us. Okay, it seems that the Poles were the only Europeans that helped the Haitians during the revolution. Dessalines understood their character and their predicament. So they couldn't go back to Poland anyway. I mean, they couldn't go back because they had fought with them. Instead of fighting against Dessalines, they wind up helping the niggas. So that go to show you all Europeans is not, against you. And on top of that, the Haitian Civil War was won off of their logistics because they traded from an army and they are they superior combatants. That mean they went and told Haiti what they needed to tell them to make sure that they don't get hit upside the head. They probably knew what caches of weapons was at too, and strategic locations. So these Europeans who helped the Haitians is getting honored, but the black African is sitting up there telling you that Haiti was a black uprising and they hate all white people and white people, this, that, and the third. But what I'm trying to tell you is that's a goddamn lie. The main motherfuckers behind this Louisiana purchase was niggas. The main motherfuckers behind the selling out of Haiti was niggas. Niggas was behind mostly all this shit. So they want to falsely blame the white man. But what I'm saying is a lot of this bullshit going on is bullshit that is propagated by hoe ass sellout mouth running ass niggas. So as you can see, I went over the Book of Mormon, and Mormon is just Mormon. So basically, this is really them studying us right now, the Mormon. And the Book of Mormon is the accounts of the Lamanites and the Nephites and their battles. So what I want you to know is the Book of Mormon is the study of more men, Jews, and Gentiles. Mormon is us, the whole men, but they done switched it up and called your ass some goddamn blacks, Negroes, and colors. So Mormon is mighty men. And this is the pictures that they left behind of the Lamanites. This is according to their studies. And this is Paracas, Peru. And a lot of the genocide was killing the giants with these skulls over here. And that's a whole nother story that we cannot emphasize on because we have so much distraction from the goddamn African, and we have the Aboriginals that's too slow to catch on. So we can't expect the Aboriginals who woke up 2 years to be on our level when we've been studying for 20 years. You feel what I'm saying? I'm in my 30s. I've been studying since I was in my teens. So the Aboriginals have not been reading nothing until Dan Calloway had to put it on the video. Because if it wasn't for the video on the YouTube, they wasn't going to know shit because they too lazy. They just was going to keep paying taxes till they died. Now they know they don't have to pay taxes. But they're still not acting on that shit. So we have the snake, serpent, and mythologies of the ancient world. And it was now time for us to return to the Grail story of the West. So the Holy Grail story actually is a Quishuan Lemurian serpent story. Okay. So we have the Aboriginals that sleep. We have the Africans that sitting there here distracting us from pivotal and key information that we can use to free ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So we have Kansas-Nebraska Act 1854 in the antebellum period of U.S. history, critical national policy change concerning the expansion of slavery into the territories, affirming the concept of popular sovereignty under congressional edict. So slavery is becoming popular now after the Louisiana Purchase and unorganized territory in west of the Mississippi. So a lot of our people was living here, like in Utah, Nebraska, and Colorado, and Kansas. And we have I think it's probably about 180 freeman towns at around this time. Already built up, roads paved, houses, hotels, all of that. I got the whole site on it. I got it. I'm going to show it. That's going to knock everything out the box. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that video by itself when I show you the Missouri, how it was developed with nothing but Negroes. So, and I'm going to show you. Right now, this Kansas-Nebraska Act, what's finna go on is they finna start trying to run in. See, they want to do these people and go ahead and make them as chattel property and put them up under the Dependency Act instead of nationalism and birthright. So, they going to take their indigenous rights and they running up in here in 1854. So that go to show you wasn't no slaves up here. So they basically trying to get slavery up in here right now. You understand what I'm saying? Why I'm showing you this? So after the Missouri Compromise had concluded slavery from the part of the Louisiana, except north of 3630 parallel, okay, the same act sponsored by Democratic Senator Stephen A. Douglas provided for the territorial organization of Kansas and Nebraska under the principle of popular sovereignty, which had been applied to New Mexico and Utah in the Compromise of 1850. So we have all these people still living here with copper-colored skin and woolly hair, and they want to enslave them. So if you can really use your brain, wasn't no slavery here. Even though they saying slavery lasted from 1779 to 1868 during the Civil War, we have 1850, 1820 key dates, and I'm showing you wasn't no slavery nowhere in these regions. That shit is a goddamn lie. And I hope you was just smart enough to catch on. This is how we destroying the out of Africa. This is how we destroying the pan-Aboriginal illiteracy. So the Bleeding Kansas was a small civil war in the United States from 1854 to 1859. Now, you don't need to really doubt in your mind that in these areas it was our people already developed. But I want you to understand this was the Melanesian type mixed up with the various islands around us. So this is the Pacific Ocean people. This is the people down here in Mexico, Mesoamerica, mixing up right here in the center of America in territory in Kansas. And there's a lot of Israelite activity going on around here. It's a heavy Israelite presence, and it's a heavy Moorish presence too as well. So what's finna go on with these free people is that they finna run up in here saying that y'all some niggas. Y'all are some goddamn Africans. That's what they saying. Y'all some African slaves. We brought y'all over here as slaves, and we finna come get y'all at. So it's finna be a war out here, fought between pro-slavery and anti-slavery advocates for control of the new territory. So they never had control of this territory. You understand what I'm saying? And we're now in the area of the Pueblos culture. This is what the Pueblos culture is at. This is where the Adobe culture at. This is where Moab is. Moab, Utah. This is where Colorado at. You know, with them cliff dwellings. And what I'm saying is, if you can see, according to this article, wasn't no slavery here. They had a bleeding Kansas Civil War to keep slavery out. So, you understand what I'm saying? They want to enslave everybody here and make their ass under them. So, they fought, and they didn't never teach you about this shit. Okay. So a political struggle to determine the future state's position on slavery ensued centered on the Lecompton Constitution. So we need to find out what the Lecompton is, because that's a Moorish word too, like Comp Bay, like to comp. T Comp Bay, the leader up there, Tecum. They call him Tecum or Tecumseh. So we need to find out about all of this information. And if we wasn't getting distracted, you know, we'll be able to, you know, really focus on this information. So, let me move on. This video got to end, unfortunately. Sunken slave ship off Alabama likely to bring U.S. Muslims in early America. That's something for the Aboriginals. Renunciation of U.S. citizenship. Claim your nationality. Okay. God stopped. Okay, look, Christians. God stopped y'all from building tall buildings, but he didn't stop them from firing ships. Your God don't exist. Alright, that's the end of that. Now, let me do the rundown. Let me do this rundown 1 second. Let me do this rundown so I can end this video. Oh, snap. Profile. Okay, let's start right here. Let me do the rundown. This is the prerequisite. Matter of fact, this is going to be part 1. To the destruction of Pan-African ideals and the exposure of Aboriginal illiteracy. Because in order to be literate, that means you have to comprehend what you read, and you have to know how to write well. So let's start right here and do the rundown. Okay. Okay, we have the fact that the Indians is constantly getting brought up. I just showed you the Indian with the corn in their hand, and I just showed you Girali the Cherokee connecting his Indian heritage, falsely being claimed by the Aboriginals. Okay. And my research has led to the serpent people, the serpent culture, worldwide, building up mostly all of these ancient megaliths. Okay. I don't understand. This was not just happening, did it? Ancient origins. Yeah, this crazy right here. I was just searching through this stuff, and oh yeah, let me see if you all. Oh no, something ain't right. I'm finna have to end this video, man, because I keep enlarging this screen some type of way where it take me forever to see my dang on my post. I don't know how this keep happening. On the real. Okay. Okay. The Indians. What I want to do is do a quick rundown to end this video. We have the Moors is gonna have to be a topic in the future, but it is synonymous with all that Indian stuff and that serpent Naga stuff. Whenever you see Naga Maya, think of Moors, ancient Moors. You know, when you think of North American niggas, think of modern Moors. Okay. Okay. So we have an African telling us that there is no such thing as a Bantu language. There are different languages such as Zulu, Shona, and Shiwa that use the word Bantu, Wantu, and Muntu and other different variations to mean person or people. So which language do you want to learn? So this African bust they head on the internet sitting up there talking about we the Bantus, we the Bantu people. And the African had to intervene like, oh, there ain't no Bantu language. You know, talking about they speaking some goddamn Bantu. So a lot of niggas is claiming to be Bantus, is what I'm saying. And they don't even know that, you know, Bantu don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? Bantu just mean person. So when you saying that, oh, we Bantu, you just saying I'm the person in another language. Further proving that your ass is a retard. So this map right here, you know, I want to get up on this map. See, if we wouldn't get distracted, we would be able to read this map and we can research every goddamn one of these towns. Because that's the type of research I am. I'm finna look up every last one of these towns and I'm finna read the history on each one of them. And if you look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's about 50. That's not a lot. So if we go up to the top where it say Sabone, then if we get over here to Kake, Paya, Mosquito. Mosquito in Central America is what Belize at. Mosquito Kingdom is our people. I done showed you that already. So if you get to the middle with this red dot where it say Mura on top of the Negro Amazon, you see what I'm saying? It says Mura. And if you see the red, is all the same civilization. So if they can have a central civilization in outskirts, little provinces or whatever them is, territories, we can do it too. So if the Mura is in the center of the Amazon in Central America and recognize, you know, we have the Moors. And if you look down at Aymara down here with the kings, you know, the Hindus, we didn't just prove the Hindu connection to the Quechua, Lemurian, the Andean mountains. We just proved it. And if we look up on this map, we have more names on this map that got some same names up there in America, up in North America. And let me look up on here. We have Muscoi. We have Carib. Okay. If you got to look on here for yourself to pinpoint it. And we have Colorado. Okay. It's a Colorado, North America. Okay. Okay. Mexicali. people. Okay, so that's a real people, Mexicali. So that's why they call them Mexicans. Okay, so let me get up out of here. You get the point that I'm debunking the Aboriginals steady talking about we ain't more. See, what I was trying to tell the Aboriginals who saying they not Moors is you not Moors. And what I was trying to tell the Taino Arawaks, you know, who was half naked, you know what I'm saying, wearing leaves and shit, is, you know, you not a warrior, nigga. You feel me? You had to pick sugarcane for 100 years. We was fighting, and we still fighting in Chicago. Because you got to understand in 1700, when we founded Chicago, niggas was fighting. It was a civil war, but we was free. See, niggas like me would be somewhere chilling. Y'all have been ahead of civil war. I ain't even know y'all had a civil war. Then when I come around, you would be talking about something. Bruh, we was in slavery, bruh. And I'm like, bruh, I don't know nothing about no slavery. You understand what I'm saying? It's niggas out here who just been living their life in America and don't know shit about your slavery. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel sorry for y'all. So we have the Phoenicians and the Venetians, like the Venice Bank. They have been robbed. The Venice. You feel what I'm saying? The Venetians have been robbed. And they are really the Phoenicians. And the Phoenicians is the people who came up with the alphabet to write with. And I can prove that. So they owe you for writing. And they have switched your shit up to Phoenician, which is Venezuelan. The Venezuelans come from Lemuria. I can look Venezuela up on the map. It's right here. Okay, so when you looking at here, okay, it might not show up. These is just these the Native American words. I don't even say Venezuela. But if you know what Argentina at, if you see right here, Venezuela is Venetia, and that's where they language come from. You feel what I'm saying? So they trying to say Phoenician come from some goddamn Arab area. They not even gonna really tell you where the Phoenicians come from. It come from Venezuela, South America. You understand what I'm saying? And there's a lot of lying ass people out here, and I'm sitting up here switching it up. You know, switching it up from them. I'm not gonna give them a chance, because if you look at the brother right here, the Moor, they was the mightiest people of their day. They was the mightiest people of their day. Now we have the new generations trying to switch it up. You feel what I'm saying? Okay. So, we have Matamoros, killer of Moors. So, Matamoros means killing of Moors. So, we have a town dedicated to killing of Moors in Spain. And it's a man called James the Moor Slayer. So, we have more proof. We have Andalusia evokes imagery of Alhambra, Granada's Moorish jewel. We have Mosquito of Cordoba. So I'm showing you the mosquitos and the mosquito. So we have the mosquito who was fighting in Illinois Black Hawk Wars, and we have the mosquito that is nothing but some Moorish people. You understand what I'm saying? So you understanding what the mosquito means now, what the Muskegon means now. You understand what Muskogan means now. You feel what I'm saying? So we catching on to why we want to be called Indian Moors now, and not African Moors. Like we say, we all Moors. We got more you melanin than them, but we have to have our nationality behind the Moors. So instead of, you know, African Moors, we Moorish Americans. You understand what I'm saying? So I can sit up here and debunk Eddie Seti right quick. Let me debunk him with the proof, and I'm going to go ahead and move on. Okay. Okay, I'm sure you get the drift of what I'm sitting up there trying to show you. The giants built the pyramids. The reason why I showed that is because Sarah Sutton said he went on ahead and he did a video, talking about who the Olmecs was. So what I'm trying to show him and y'all who talking about y'all some Egyptians, that's a goddamn lie. Because as you can see, them giants built that pyramid, so it ain't gonna take much for a giant to drag no goddamn Olmec head. And I'm sure the giants had the biggest boats in the world back then. So they could easily bring a Olmec head. You understand what I'm saying? So it was the giants. It was not no goddamn Egyptian that they trying to explain. A giant people. And as I continue to destroy the out of Africa theory and the transatlantic slave myth and Pan-Africanism, I'm going to introduce more information showing that giants built the pyramids and not no Jewish slaves, not no dumbass Africans from sub-Saharan Africa without a written language, and not no goddamn space aliens. So we have this Moorish architecture that is found in America and in North Africa and in Asia. Okay? So the Moorish. So what I want to do is recognize that Moorish is a real recognition, not just in Africa or Asia, but it's also a title in America. And what we have is 61,000 hidden structures about the Maya civilization that they have not fully researched. 61,000 structures. That's a lot of goddamn buildings. So if you think that's not a lot, that nigga Sarah Sutton Seti, he has your ass extra brainwashed. If you think that's not a lot and it's ancient, and what's up under there is stuff like this. You see this building in Mexico? You feel me? This is what they was building back then. The same damn type of buildings that's in India. And if you see Queen Scotia, Nova Scotia, this is what Nova Scotia. So we was dealing with New Scotland. So we dealing with these type of people, Scotia. So they just calling them Egyptian pharaohs now, which is a damn lie. So you see the red, white, and blue. And I can go on to end this video. You see the structures. This is what they uncovering up under them dirt mines down in Central America, while this nigga talking about all y'all got is dirt mines. Nigga, we have to get up under that. And a lot of them dirt mines, I believe, was stepping stones to build. That's what I believe. Okay. Abdul Zahar. Maurya Kingdom. Giants built the pyramid. Could the Maya been in Egypt? Of course they could have. Okay. I wanted to see some. Okay, we have the Moorish style castle. Okay, they not gonna let me get that, but that's in Grenada, America. That's not in Africa. That's in Grenada, America. I wanted to see that. That's why I actually came here. Because we have these pyramids and castles all over the earth. We have the origin of the term Moor. In the Palermo Stele, the title of the high priest of Anu is Moor. So the Moors are high priests. They have a lot of knowledge. That's why they call them the fiery serpents in America. Because they had the fire. They spit the fire. And as you can see, the red, white, and blue, once again, us wearing our natural colors. And English being Sanskrit is actually a language that we developed on our own. And as you can see, the turban wearing Moor has the flag, the map with America on it, showing you that we've been navigating way before some goddamn, whatever you call them folks from Africa. You see what I'm saying? So we was doing that way before them. And as you can see, the turban wearing brother on the ancient map, we have something called Islamorada in America, where into the 1800s, they was defending this isle. And they was repossessing European cargo. They was taking folks' stuff too. They would take your boat too, legally. And this is in Florida, where they have the Moorish stuff at that they is hiding. And I'm the only one who been revealing this. You know what I'm saying? Islamorada, Florida. You see it right there? So I'm the only one who really been revealing this information, breaking down the Moorish architecture to where you can fully comprehend it. And I have a whole lot of information that I can hit y'all with, but we stay getting distracted. You feel what I'm saying? So they hiding your heritage. You not waking up. This is Cahokia, Illinois. More books for you to read. You know, you see the giant skull found. You feel what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is giants was building a lot of these big old structures. If you see that big old skull, he can easily pick up one of them little bricks to put on them pyramids. So it ain't no aliens who built it. Now, if you look at the name of God, Yahweh, in reverse writing upside down, pressed together, it spells Allah in Arab. So we have the same God, but in a mathematical tone, in a different understanding, it is Allah. It is Yahweh. So I'm gonna do a video on that, and you know, we gonna break down more of the African, you know, lies. This is Peru, of an ancient leader with affairs on in Peru 1700 years ago. See, we telling you about Venezuela and America and Inca and Mura civilization. See the feds? See, this is what they hiding. And since you listening to my videos, I get to now expose the Muslim aspect of what they hiding. Because the Aboriginals is Christians and Masons too. You have to understand that the Masons, you see the sun rays coming out the top. So we got a lot going on here. And then we see Moorish Opelika, Florida. We see the pyramids getting built by the giants. So that means Sarah Sutanseti is lying. He doing a lot of goddamn lying. You see the red, white, and blue for the Moorish. You understand what I'm saying? The red, white, and blue. We have the red, white, and blue trifecta triple crown by the Snake Naga. We have the blue hole in Belize. This deep hole seems to be bottomless. And we have the Stonehenge with Sarah Sutanseti talking about who could have brought the Olmec heads. The same people who brought the Stonehenge. And that is Rapa Nui. So this bullshit selection, bullshit, racist Darwin bullshit was designed to hide the ancient and advanced Negro civilization, so-called Moors, that are Moors, far more advanced than any Western society today, and to conceal the fact that white DNA has severely altered genetics by artificial means. White DNA is defective, and according to nature of the defect can have only come into nature through genetic manipulation described by what of Dr. Jacob's Jacob in the Bible, genetically separating the black and brown gene and then continually isolating the gene through a grafting process until the weak white gene emerge. So we can be focused on information like that, but these niggas is steady playing with us about some ancient Naga shit, calling it Egyptian, which it ain't even no Egyptian. And we is missing out on the giant information. So I'm going to end this video because this is just part one to the destruction of Pan-Africanism in America and uplifting the illiteracy level in Aborigines. So until next time, you know, watch my videos, like, subscribe, share. You know, appreciate you. You know, tune in. I got your back. I'm going to keep dropping these videos on their head.